Use your platform. Be responsible.
Tap, tap, tap.
Hey, Valdoni.
Use your platform. Be responsible.
The reason why I do the work that I do is I want to uncover the information about someone, which means that I need to, at times, look at the past. Because the best thing that you can do if you are a researcher and you are delivering a story is to look at somebody's past. Somebody's past is their best indication of what they will do in the future. A leopard doesn't change their spots, especially when they're in their middle-aged.
Over the weekend, I did some research on forensic extractions of phones. And while it's available to the private sector and to employers, technically speaking, even though it's a company-issued phone, if you're going to be extracting data that includes personal data from an iCloud or Gmail,
Taylor didn't get to the level that she is because she's a good singer, because she's not a good singer. There's a lot of singers that have much better range, that have higher octaves, that are technically a better singer than her.
What is Samantha Carpenter's singing called? Here's my opinion of Samantha Carpenter.
It's Sabrina.
She needs auto-tunes and to not pronounce words. Fine, Sabrina, whatever. Y'all are confusing me. Like, how relevant she is.
Carpenter.
Who cares? They're trying to make her, like, sound sexual in her singing, and it's weird. I don't know what damn thing she says in Espresso. It's like, me blah he, blah blah who, blah blah. No, she doesn't sound good live. She sounds like shit. She sounds like someone that's like trying to be hypersexualized in the industry to sell albums. Like there's a zillion other artists out there that are way more talented. Either she's just a blonde with a nose job.
Right, but
All she is a chick that's got blonde hair that's not even a natural blonde with bangs and a nose job. She doesn't even have boobs. Like, come on now. Music. Like this isn't what Taylor Swift does.
And then they've pit women against women, which is horrible. Women should never be pitted against each other. We should be supporting one another.
Like, Emily Baker stands, get the fuck out of my feed. Nobody gives a shit. She's a lawyer. She's covering the case. Great. See, and there's a stand right there. That's not true, Katie. They will defend everything that bitch does. I don't like her. She spent months trying to ruin my reputation. I would never want my people to go onto Emily's channel and calling her names or telling her she's a bitch. Like, I would never want people to do that.
What?
Say what?
Tap, 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 tap. All I do is I talk to people. We as women are supposed to believe all women. Well, we're covering it because many of us are victims ourselves. Some of us are victims of domestic violence, victims of SA, some are victims of sexual harassment, victims of narcissistic abuse, and smear campaigns. And I also know what it's like to be a victim of domestic violence, and I also know what it's like to be a victim of SA, because I'm both, a survivor of both. Twofold, the PTSD from the actual incident and the PTSD from that interrogation.
What did I want to be when I grew up? I wanted to be a writer, or else I wanted to be in the FBI. I wanted to be in the FBI or a lawyer. I love to investigate. That's probably why this is like what I like to do.
Yeah, I was interrogated. Imagine you're interrogated and not believed. That happened. I was petrified of being, like, accused of lying again. I went for help. They told me I was a liar. Victims shouldn't be interrogated. Why was I interrogated? I'm not lying. This is the most traumatic part of my story. Because I actually remember this. I don't remember what happened to me. He brought me there to interrogate me, not to actually believe me. And I was like, what? Okay, what? And it went like this for 3 hours. And I was a jealous, angry girlfriend that didn't get a phone number, and and I was jilted. My revenge was to call the cops on him. And I'm like, I have had plenty of guys turn me down, and I've never once reported them. Ever. And he said to me, well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But it's going to take time. We'll call you. I felt like the cop gaslit me. That's what it felt like. I felt like he was gaslighting. And it was funny because I was trying to find him on the website. Oh my God, you guys are contacting them? Oh my God. Oh dear. I tagged them on Twitter. I don't know. I honestly just tagged them on Twitter. And I said, it's been 4,885 days since you said you were going to call me and you haven't called me yet. We'll see if they respond. I said, I have a really large platform and everyone's going to know what you guys did. Sorry. I don't think she even thinks about, I'm convinced that she lives in a world where she truly believes her lies. And I feel bad for anyone that's on the receiving end of a smear campaign by a narcissist. It is terrible. So this woman felt so compelled to speak out and warn people. I posted his information, but don't contact him. Like, Don't contact the businesses. I'm putting out the public information because it's public information. That's all I'm doing. I'm not telling people to do not harass anyone. Me sharing my story is for me to take my power back. And he will have to know that people know it's him. And that to me is satisfying. Do not contact the family or their businesses, 100%. It's for my empowerment to share. It's not for you to hurt them. Can I tell you a story? I went to an Atmosphere concert and the rapper Slug was outside after the show and I started talking to him and I was really drunk. And somehow I finagled a ride home with him, driven home by his girlfriend, and I was so wasted. I was 21, you guys, that I ended up getting kicked out of his car at a Super America gas station, like 4 blocks from my friend's apartment because I was that annoying. He's a rapper from this band called Atmosphere. It was so funny that he wrote a song about it. He literally wrote a song about me. And I was so mad at him for writing a song. I knew the song was immediately about me. And, oh, what was the song called? Let me see. It's called Hair. I'm not going to let you steal my thunder. I'm not going to let you make me feel bad. I'm sharing this publicly. I'm okay with sharing that publicly. I'm not disparaging these people. I'm saying this is what happened. This is his family. That's it. Don't contact them. And if you are someone that's worried about what's going to happen to these businesses or to him, you're not supporting me. You're not here for me. Anyways, I gotta go. I am not here, I was feeling like all kinds of things. I was having the feels. And I was like, I have to do this because I haven't done this on my platform and I have to get this out. And I'm not going to hide that his family's affluence was part of the reason why he got out of it. Somebody in the comments actually said to me, why does it matter? It's not fair that you name his family's businesses. And I think that's the problem here, is it's why he got out of it. So you have to name the business, because if you have someone whose family owns a bunch of different companies and they are saying, well, don't you know who my family is? I mean, right? My family, we're good people. We would never do that. It's my family. So if you know someone in your family is doing that and then they're hiding behind your businesses in order to, do things, your family should know. And the public should know, because the public is using your family's businesses and you're using your family to do things. So I felt that powerless. Like, I was like, nobody believes me. I'm a peon. I have no platform. I have no one to say anything about anything. And now, finally, I have a platform and I have people that will listen. And I have no idea. He's gonna be really, people are gonna know who he is now. I'm done. So this part of the story I'd never actually considered, because going through that entire night in that video was actually sort of like reprocessing my memory. And now there's parts of that story that don't make sense to me, because I remember that night when I ran into him, he seemed really out of place. Like, he hadn't been at the place I was at. He was literally just like walking around and he was by himself. It was like looking for someone. You know what I mean? It was really bizarre. He wasn't working. He wasn't with friends. He was literally by himself. And he was just walking, doing what, I don't know. I don't know where he even came from. He told me, I just got off work. You just got off work. Why are you walking around uptown? For what purpose? He wasn't going into any of the establishments. He was totally sober. Like, was I just the person that he happened to, run into that night? You know what I mean? And then that makes me wonder if he still does that. Does he still get off work and walk around in Uptown looking for people? Because he spotted me. I did not see him. I was not even paying attention. Like, he literally saw me and was like, hey, Katie. It was bizarre. He was working, but he didn't have his limo. It was weird. He didn't have his limo at all. He said he had been driving people around. Limo. It was the weirdest thing. And it was like, It's the most bizarre thing. He met outside of that place. We went over to my friend Seisha's house. My friends ordered pizza. They were making me like a vodka cranberry, and I just like wasn't into that at all. After I ate the pizza, I was like super tired. And I wanted to go home. And I would have had to either call a cab. This was before Uber. There wasn't Ubers then. There wasn't an Uber in 2007.
Sorry.
Women can lie as easily as men, and that men can be victims of false accusations. Those accusations are weaponized so frequently. In this case, I just want justice for Justin and for Wayfair, but we'll keep fighting for them. We'll keep digging. We'll keep searching.
Let's move on.
When I'm presenting you with whatever it is that I'm covering, making sure that I'm balancing, like, that I'm being fair to whoever it is that I am covering, but remembering that, like, just because I'm covering someone or covering a story, it's like, that doesn't mean you're bullying someone. It doesn't mean that
You're being an online bully. It literally doesn't, because that's what I've done for years.
We are talking about a case that is supposed to be about women and believing women and not using degrading language and being cognizant and mindful of, like, not marginalizing women.
Word on the curb is either Jill had a hysterectomy based on massive amounts of bleeding with both of her children, or Derek is just like, oh, hell no, we ain't having more than 2 kids, bitch.
My degree was in Spanish studies, and I learned that you need to be literate of California, and I learned to critically think. I learned more about critical thinking and research, and I took graduate courses where I again learned lying. When I was a kid, I remember a teacher in high school, I think it was my communications teacher, saying,
You must be lying.
and I learned that
Is Lindsay's the kind of friend that will literally bring the shovel, no questions asked.
She has a heart, like, she's extremely meticulous person I think I've ever met. Like, she does everything by the book. She is a rules follower. Her hair has gotten so long. We got ready today. Like, she got ready while I got ready on FaceTime. Is that the mark of a friendship?
And I learned that
I love my friend to pieces. And I will never, ever, ever hurt her. Use your platform. Be responsible.